Do you have an old set of Christmas reindeer that you bring out year after year? Are they looking a bit tired? Are they looking rusty? Are the lights faulty? Well, in this short video I'm going to show you how to revamp those old Christmas reindeer lights. I'm going to show you how to clean them up, remove the old lighting, put new lights on, give them a fresh coat of paint and make them look brand new. This is Simon Lobbs, welcome back to the studio. Today I'm going to bring you a how-to video, and this time I'm going to talk about these Christmas reindeer set. Now this set has been with us for many years now and is looking a bit tired. The framework's a bit rusty, as you can see, and the lights aren't working properly. They're inefficient as well, and I'd like to upgrade the lighting to an LED system which will be more efficient. They'll also look nicer and last longer. I'm going to need to do some preparation on this framework. I've taken the lights off this one, as you can see, so they're going to need to be it's going to need to be cleaned, prepared and spray painted. Now I'm going to do a very simple cleaning and preparation on this, and the spray paint you'll see you can buy from anywhere. It's nothing complicated, so it's something that you can do this Christmas, or maybe get ready for next Christmas. Now this set is pretty old, and I could buy a new set. It's going to cost quite a lot of money to buy a new set, and I'd like to keep these ones because they fit in with my scheme that I have every Christmas, and so I want to reuse these, and it's not a good idea to throw things away anyway. So let's get going with the preparation. I'm going to do what I did with this one. I'm going to take off the old lights. Quite a simple method. Just I mean they're clipped on with these cable ties. It's not complicated, so I'll get to work. I'm going to unclip all of these cable ties. Tidy up, and then I can get set up for the spraying. Okay, these have been stripped off their lights. Now I need to lightly prepare the metal framework. I'm going to use one of these medium sanding pads. You can get them at any hardware store. They're not difficult to come by. Just a medium grit. What I'm going to do is just rub over them. It'll take off some of the surface rust, and also any bits that have bubbled up. It'll just smooth them off so that I don't catch myself on them in the future. It's just a very simple process. Just go over the whole lot. Clean off as much as you can with the sanding pad, and then once I've done that, I'm going to take one of these degreasing cloths. Buy them anywhere in any hardware store again. You can also use, obviously you could use warm soap and water, it's just as good. a little bit of detergent. But I'm going to use these degreasing rags, cloths from this pack. Just makes my life a little bit easier. So I will just go over the whole thing, take off any grease or grime, and then that's once I've done that all over all three, then I can get on with the spraying. So I'll work my way through that now, then I'll come back to you and explain how I'm going to set up for the spraying, because I'm going to be spraying indoors. Wet day like today, I can't go outdoors to do the spraying, but I want to get it done today. Luckily here in the studio I have a ventilation system, so I will obviously have that on when I'm spraying. I will also be wearing a mask. If you're not comfortable with spraying indoors, then obviously you can on a good day you can take it outside and give the spray, but there shouldn't be a lot of overspray with this type of project. I'm only using a can that you can get from any hardware store, but I would recommend that you wear a mask even if you're spraying outside. I think it's important. So I'm going to get on with the preparation, and I'll come back to you and we can take a look at the setup for the spraying. I want to emphasize the importance of the preparation. These particular items have been out every year for many years now. They picked up grime and obviously rust, and you don't want to be spraying straight onto something that's got grease and dust and build-up of dirt and things on them, because the paint just won't stick correctly. So if you want to get a good long-lasting finish, this stage is very important. You need to put a little bit of time into the preparation. I know that you can buy paints that say spray straight on to rust, whatever, but it's always a good idea, if you want something to last, to do the preparation. So this is why I think I want to emphasize and show you that it must be done in advance, and then you will get a good finish and you will get a long-lasting finish. Okay, now these have been sanded, say with our medium sanding pad. I can feel that they're nice and they're nice and smooth now. There's no little nasty little ridges. There's no greasy patches. You will be able to feel it if you rub your hands over the surface. If there's any greasy, grimy marks, any raised areas, you'll be able to feel it, and try and remove those if you can. And as I say, make sure that you clean them properly. The frames will now need to dry. I want, if you've been using soap and water, again, you'll need to let them dry off, give them a half an hour or so to dry. You could use a hairdryer if you want to speed up the process. I'm going to leave these just to dry off for 10-15 minutes, and then I'm going to get the spray gear together, and then we'll take you through that. Okay, we are ready for painting. Now I'll talk to you a little bit about the spray I'm going to use. This is an enamel paint, something you might use on if you're respraying a radiator, for example. I'm going to use this because I know that it's going to last well, and it's going to stick nicely, and I'm not going to have any issues. there are many companies that produce these spray paints. You may have heard of a company called Hammerite. This is a gold one, but you can buy them in white, gloss, satin, matte finishes. There are other companies, Rust-Oleum do one, and Plasticoat. There are a number of different companies. This is a Plasticoat enamel. So I'm going to be using this to spray. I don't need a lot of spray paint on here. I'm just going to go over the areas that need it and just give it a sort of a go over, tidy it up, because it's going to be covered up with the lights. So I'm just going to make sure that it's looking good, it's not going to deteriorate any further, and it's going to it's going to protect it and it's going to last. So that's what I'm going to use on here. Now it is important to wear a mask, as I said. Even if you're outside, don't be tempted to think, well, I'm outside, it's the wind's blowing, I don't really need a mask. You don't want to get this stuff into your lungs, and so I would recommend a decent mask, even if you're working outside, especially if you're working inside. I probably wouldn't go with something like this. This is fine for a bit of sanding. There's no ventilation, there's no particular protection. It's not really designed for paint spraying. It's just for dust. So don't cheap out. Something like this is better. It's got a rubber seal around the inside, a couple of good strong straps, and a ventilated filter at the front. So I would recommend something along these lines. These are designed for paints, so I would recommend something like that. Again, even if you're outside, make sure you wear a mask. Okay, so I'm going to go. I'm going to turn the extraction system on. It may get a little bit noisy. Hopefully, I can get rid of that noise in post. And going to put the mask on. I shall wear a pair of gloves, and then I'm going to give this particular one a spray up, just to show you what I'm going to be doing, and then I'll do the other two. Then once that is dry, it'll take a little while to dry. Once it's dry, I can come back to these and show you the lights that I've chosen, and how I'm going to fix them, and then we can look at the finished result. Okay, that's pretty much it. Check it over, make sure that you're happy with it. You can always come back and touch bits in at a later stage. That's going to take a while to dry, but that's pretty much it. I don't think it needs any more than that. Say, it doesn't take long, doesn't use a lot of paint really. You make a little bit of mess, but you can always cover up if you have a table you don't want to get messy. But it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So I shall get on. I shall put that to one side. I shall get the other two done. I shall probably leave those to dry, I would guess, overnight, and then tomorrow I'll be looking at getting the lights on there, getting them fixed, making sure that it's looking the way I want it to look, and then we'll get them together, take a photo. Well, this is the finished result. As you can see, the paint has dried and I've got the new lights fixed on. Now in a minute I'm going to show you how I did that. These are the lights I picked up. Any set of lights will do. These are a multi-function set of LED lights, strip lights, and I've used, I don't know if you can see, I've used these tiny little cable ties, clear cable ties, to fix the lights on. Now the most important thing that I want to say at this point is that you need to work out, you need to work out what length you need of strip light. For this size of reindeer, this is 100 string of lights. This is a warm white, the one I picked for this one. Now you need to work out the length. What I did was, I very roughly, when I picked up these lights, I brought them in, I unpacked them, and I went round very roughly around the whole reindeer, working out which direction to go in, where to start and where I wanted to finish. I wanted to finish with the plug, the cable, without, you know, the end section where the lights finish. I wanted that to end on one of the legs. It doesn't really matter which one, but I wanted it to end on one of the rear legs. So that's why I started. I started fixing the lights at that point and worked my way around. Obviously you can't cut these lights for obvious reasons, so it will be a continuous wrap around the entire body of the reindeer. So I started one end, the same end that I finished, I wanted it to finish, mapped out around the reindeer how I was going to run the length of the lights and where I was going to finish up. So that's very important. So I'm going to show you how I did that, how I got to this stage, and then hopefully it will be clear and you will be able to do that on your own reindeer. Okay, before you get started, you will need a few things. Obviously you will need your lights. You will need to just make sure that you've got this section where the lights finish at one end separated. You'll need your pack of clear cable ties, so get those ready. And you will need a pair of snips. Any size snips will do, as long as they're reasonably sharp. Very important. I'll show you in a minute. Now you need to work out, as I said, you need to work out where to get started. Now I decided I was going to start on one of the back legs, so hopefully you can see that. So what I did was I fixed my, let's remove some of that. I made my first fixing at one of the back legs. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so that's my first fixing. With the snips, the excess, I snip as I go, so take off any excess from the cable tie. Okay, so that's your first fixing. So from there, you need to work out how you're going to work your way around this reindeer, so you've got a complete run without any stops or breaks, ending up hopefully where you started. So I did a couple of mock-ups. I went through, I worked out roughly, I came through this section, down the legs, up. It's a little bit tricky to work out exactly how to go around the antlers and the head area, but I did work it out in the end. A bit of trial and error. So I worked my way up and around the head, back again, around the antlers, through the body, back and around and back to the back leg again. But I'll show you how I did that. I'll probably speed the video up because it does take quite a long time. I think it took me, when I did the first one, I think it took me around about an hour to get them all clipped up. But it's worth it. Take your time. Don't be afraid to use use as many of these table ties as you need. What you want to do is try and ensure that the lights follow the contour of the body, and they're nicely clipped and fixed to the framework. You don't want them sagging or dropping or moving, especially as you're going. You don't want them to be stretching and moving and going out of shape. You want to follow the contour of the framework. So I shall crack on with that. What I'll probably do is speed the video up as I go, just to show you how I did it and the entire video, but hopefully it won't take too long. Okay, I'll crack on with that. you can see, started on this leg all the way round, one continuous flow over the head, through antlers and over the body, ended back where I started. Now I've got a little bit left over, as you'd expect, so what I will do is I've taken these off, is I'm going to just bring that round the leg, up around the body here a little bit, and then that should just finish that off nicely. If you do have a bit left over with your reindeer, don't be tempted to try and cut it off, because I don't think that would be a good idea. You may find that the lights won't work after, so you can always just lose it around any section really of the body, just to make sure that that circuit's all intact. There we are. A few steps. And there we have the finished deer. So we'll plug it in, see, make sure it works. Hopefully I haven't snipped any of the cable. Be very careful when you are snipping. Make sure you're not getting the cable in the way of the snippers, for obvious reasons. There we are, one finished, newly revamped reindeer, ready to go back into the normal rotation of Christmas decorations. This is all, obviously all these lights are waterproof, designed for the outside, so there's no problem leaving them outside. And the paint I used, the enamel spray paint, again, that's absolutely fine for exterior work. So hopefully you've picked up a few tips along the way and you're able to get on with your own project. Okay, here we are, the finished result. All three reindeer with new lights, fresh coat of paint, up and running, and I can now get them installed in the Christmas scene outside. And I'm sure they'll look great for many years to come. Thanks for watching.